Hi and welcome to Life, the Universe and Music. I'm Craig Westwood. My journey so far from 2016 to 2017 took me from sending off my demo tracks to production music libraries, and after many rejections I got some help with an artist development team, learning more about recording and mixing, having singing lessons and coaching to get me playing live again. Now the artist development contract had finished, I was back in the studio. But this time I was in Old Chapel Studios in Leeds, but also starting to create some tracks at home. I was tracking guitars for more songs to complete an album. I was doing regular open mics, a few gigs here and there, and I was inspired and writing more songs than ever. Up until this point though, I felt that I had other people deciding what I needed to be doing, and now it was my decision, my plan, my goals. But what were my goals? Okay, an album, that was the plan to begin with, but how many songs? Which songs? I'd started to make a list. I had over 120 songs and over 100 instrumental ideas as well, which could be more songs or remain as instrumentals, but blimey. How long was it going to take to record all this? And what instruments? And who could I get to play on them? In November 2016, into my email inbox, rather cosmically really, came a Steinberg Introduces feature. It was a young lady drummer in London, Emily Dolan Davies, and her playing was really, really impressive. I decided to investigate and sent her an email. Although I was still working with 360 then, but thinking ahead, you know, for when it was finished. Do you know when you just have a feeling that someone's right? I somehow was pretty sure at that point that Emily would be the right choice for my songs, just as soon as they were ready. I emailed Emily to ask her a bit about her setup, and I was pleasantly surprised because although Steinberg had done the feature, so I was expecting her to use Cubase, she actually used Logic Pro for her studio. She was just starting up her remote recording business, emilydrums.com. I'll put a link in below. Still, it was about a year or so later before I actually made contact, and I had some material that was complete enough for Emily then to record upon. I sent Emily my best track at the time. It was actually called Rice Mile, and for me it's a song I love playing live, so I was using it a lot in my open mic and short gig sets. Anyway, I sent Emily the tracks via her site, that's how it worked at the time, and she booked me a slot. But what blew me away was she recorded it on the day very, very quickly, and considering it was the first time we'd worked together, what I found was Emily's first take was pretty much there. I think I asked her to change a short fill at the end of the track. I think that was because she'd put a crash cymbal right on the end note, and actually I wanted it to be silent there, so I wanted it to end abruptly. But I'm sure Emily could probably do that pretty quickly with a punch in. Anyway, sure enough, the drum tracks came back pretty quickly and the whole thing was superb. Soon enough, I was sending Emily a second song to record upon, and that was called With the Sky. And that has special significance for me, which I'm going to reveal in a later episode anyway. Emily also did such a superb job on With the Sky. And it's kind of like she just knew what I wanted. Emily just has that instinct for my kind of music, you know. I find it best to send Emily a near finished song, or as near as I can get it. Even ones with my electronic drums on, which I put onto a separate track, so she's able to sort of switch that off and then produce her own track. She likes to know all about the song too, so I tell her a little bit about what the song's about, you know, so there's a little bit of the feeling involved in the track. If I've got a reference song, I'll mention that too. Like on Rice Mile, I imagined the kind of percussion that Katie Tunstall had on Black Horse and the Cherry Tree, and I wanted that sort of vibe. Emily obviously has her own unique way of interpreting that, so you know, you're going to get her version of that, and it's based on her skill and her equipment and also her interpretation of my song. I must be one of her biggest fans now, I think. I've noticed that Emily's become busier over the years, so you might have to wait a little bit of time before she can fit you in, but by golly, it's worth the wait. Just a quick pause for a moment for a very quick announcement, and that is that I was lucky enough actually a few weeks ago to interview Emily Dolan Davies. We had a little Zoom chat, and actually it's the first time we've ever met in person. We've sent messages via video before and email, but we've never actually talked face to face. So it was a great little interview, and I think you're going to like to see it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share, and this will help the channel to grow. Thank you in advance, and until the next one, cheers my dears.